Many of the information you find online about points and miles and credit cards applies primarily to people who are new to credit cards, points and miles, and trying to elevate their life and get more travel. But some of us, we aren't new to it. We've been in this a long time, and maybe we already have a lot of credit cards, and we're just looking for the next best thing. We're looking for the next card either to get the sign-up bonus or to add to our portfolio to improve our multipliers or to give us some perks we don't already have. So this video is all about how do those of us who are deep in the credit card game, who have lots and lots of cards, how do we evaluate cards that come out, cards we haven't had before, and determine, is this right for me? So this video really will focus on what does and does not matter in a card's perks and multipliers and everything else for those of us who have a lot of cards and are deep in the credit card game. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's discuss it. Some of you out there are like me. I have a lot of cards and I have a lot of annual fees. So when I'm thinking about adding a card to my wallet, I have to do some evaluation. Is this worth it? Does it give me anything that I don't already have? Because when it comes to things like priority passes, I have like 9 of those. When it comes to things like hotel credits, I am swimming in hotel credits. So that doesn't mean that I would never want a new hotel credit, but it does mean that I'm going to have to do a different type of evaluation than someone who doesn't have any of those things, and that card would be the first of its type in their wallet. So what are some things that don't matter? Some things that when I look at a new card, I'm like, who cares? That doesn't make any difference to me. It might to somebody new to the game, but it doesn't matter to me who's kind of farther along in this at all. And the first is TSA Global Entry Credits. I have so many cards with TSA and Global Entry Credits that I could fund TSA for everybody I know, it seems like. I mean, I have those that don't get used on card after card after card because so many cards offer those. So those don't move the needle at all. They just don't matter. The second, as I hinted at earlier, is Priority Pass. I mean, I don't need another Priority Pass. Now, for some people, if there was one that came out with a Priority Pass with restaurant access, that would really make a difference because most cards don't offer that restaurant access. Now, for me, I already have one that's grandfathered that has the restaurant access. So literally, I read over the words Priority Pass and they don't even register in my brain because I do not need access to Priority Pass. The third thing is crazy difficult credits to use. There are some credits on credit cards, and this is becoming more and more of a common thing, that are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, my American Airlines executive card has a Lyft credit of $10 a month that you got to use on your 4th Lyft ride of that month. So you've got to take 3 Lyft rides before you use this credit or get this credit. That is ridiculous. Some of the others have incredible hoops to jump through. Some of the DoorDash credits, you've got to use, it may be $25, but you got to use $10 and then another $10 and then another $5. And some of them can be for dining and others can only be for grocery delivery. I mean, it's just so many hoops. So when I'm looking at these credits, if I see that it's going to be extra difficult to use, I already have a lot of credits to use and to keep track of. I don't need that much more headache. So I just read on. It doesn't move the needle at all. The fourth thing is if they're advertising real big, no foreign transaction fees. I'm like, well, duh, that's just par for the course. I'm looking at cards. Most of my cards have no foreign transaction fees, but even if it did have foreign transaction fees, it still might fit my wallet because I have other cards, many, many, many other cards that I can take with me when I'm traveling abroad. So that just doesn't move the needle. It just doesn't matter. Number 5 is a clear credit. Now, they're going to try to advertise that this is worth well over $200, but it's only worth $200 to somebody who doesn't already have a clear credit. Now, you're seeing a pattern here. Many of these cards have the exact same credits. And that's not really beneficial to those of us who have lots and lots of cards. We need things that are fresh. We need things that are different. We need things that are new. So if it's almost identical to other credits I have, it doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. And I'm just going to move on. That just doesn't matter to me. The sixth thing is, it's hard because I like hotel credits, but standard hotel credits are getting to the point where I used to really like them, but now I've got so many of them, they just don't move the needle. I don't know why it is. It must be a high profit item, or maybe it doesn't cost them much, but every credit card seems to want to get you hotel credits. So the only thing that's moving the needle for me now is something special. Like I love the FHR credit because we get to stay at high-end hotels and it gives you back $100 property that you have room upgrades, stuff like that. So there are hotel credits that move the needle big time for me, but not just the standard hotel credits, particularly when they do things like, well, you're going to get a $100 hotel credit if you spend $500. No, thank you. Or you're going to get a $100 hotel credit and you have to stay a 2 or 3 night minimum. No, that's not going to fit. I've got too many other balls in the air, too many things I'm juggling to mess with that. So that one I'm going to read past. It just doesn't move the needle. Number 7 are airline. Now, let me be clear about this. Incidental credits. Airline incidental credits. Now, any card that has an airline credit that can be used for airfare is valuable to me because I pay for a lot of airfare. So I can always get my money back on that. For instance, like the Hilton Aspire, it's $50 every quarter, but you can use it for airfare. So easy to use, easy. But when they qualify that it's for incidentals, I got to read the terms and conditions rather closely because what do they mean by that? If it's for, say, taxes and fees on award flights, that's not too hard to get back. But if it's for baggage and in-flight purchases or lounge access, those things don't move the needle at all because I have status or I have credit cards, so I don't need bag fees. It's very difficult for me to get back things that are really strict about incidental credits with airlines. It's very difficult, and it's a lot of hoops to go through, and I just don't need more hoops like that in my life. And the 8th thing is very restrictive companion passes. Now, I used to be really interested in these airline cards that gave you a companion pass, but some are better than others. Some you have to pay a $99 fee. Some are you get it for free, but you pay the taxes and fees. But these are not all created equal. And some of them, it's not available on all their flights. It's just available on select ones. And what that generally means is the more expensive ones. And they sometimes don't work all the time, or you've got to go for X amount of days, or it's only for a round trip. Oftentimes, rule of thumb is these airline companion certificates, unless there's something easy like the Southwest companion certificate that is multiple use and pretty easy to use. Most of the others that are single-use companion certificates have a lot of restrictions. They're hard to use, and they just often don't fit our travel and our lifestyle. So generally, they don't move the needle very much at all. And then the 9th thing is cards that have some kind of status earning. Generally, that doesn't matter to me. I already have the statuses I need. And so that's just kind of a non-factor in most cards. So what does move the needle for me? When I'm looking at a card, and even though I have so many cards, what might get me excited to add another one to my wallet? Well, the first thing, of course, would be sign-up bonuses, because that's kind of a whole nother discussion. I'm going to often get cards I don't care about just to keep them for 1 year and then downgrade or cancel just to get the sign-up bonus. So that's, of course, understood. But when it comes to a card that I might want to hold and might want to keep, the first thing is multipliers. Does it have a multiplier that gives me something I don't currently have? Now, this doesn't happen for me very much anymore because my base with the Built Palladium card is over 3 cents per point. So 3x multipliers are meaningless on everything. Everything. I suppose not everything. If there was a card that came out and said 3x on tax payments, well, that would be pretty appealing because Built excludes tax payments. So see, there would be a very specified situation. But a card that has 4x multipliers, if I spend money in that might be appealing. And especially cards that have 5x multipliers, that would be appealing. Now, that doesn't happen, like I said, very much at all, because I have a pretty built out in-game setup. But if a card has a great multiplier in a category where I'm a little deficient, then I'm going to consider that card, and it might be exciting to me. The next would be access to lounges I don't currently have access to. If a card, and of course I'm going to weigh this against the other benefits, like for instance, I don't have the United Club card. That's a very expensive card and it gives you access to United Clubs, but I don't fly United that often. So it's like, do I need that card to maybe use it 2 or 3 times a year and pay all that annual fee and have to deal with all those other crazy credits? Many of the things that the card offers were in my previous list of things I don't care about. So no, I'm not going to get that card. But if there was a card that gave you access to some lounges that I don't currently have access to, and I think I pretty much have access to most of them right now, then I would consider it. Doesn't happen very often, but it would excite me about the card. And this next one, the third one, is kind of connected to the second, and that is guest access to lounges. So like for instance, if American Express came out with a new card that offered guest access to the Centurion lounges, I would look at that card pretty closely, because there are some nuanced situations where I have access, but I don't have guest access, and I want to be able to bring people with me when I go. So that would be, again, doesn't happen hardly ever, but if it did, that would kind of excite me, even though I have lots and lots of cards, about a new card that came out. The fourth is I get excited about simple luxury hotel credits. And what I mean by that is things like the FHR collection. Now, there are some that look like hotel credits that are at luxury properties, but don't fit that criteria of simple luxury hotel credits. Like, for instance, if they are telling me I have to stay 2 or 3 nights as a minimum, that just doesn't move the needle for me. I have too many hotel credits already. So if a card came out and maybe had a 1-night minimum and you could stay and get upgrades and you could get things similar to FHR where you got property credits and maybe early, late checkout, things like that, I would be interested in that. The same thing is true with hotel cards with free night certificates, especially the ones that are high-end free night certificates. So, I mean, if Hilton came out with a new card that gave one of their free night certificates at a lower spend threshold, or, had a lower annual fee than the Aspire, maybe didn't give diamond status, but it did give a free night cert, man, I'd be really interested in that, because those are very, very valuable to me. So free night certificates can move the needle. The next thing on my list would be simple dining credits. I mean, we eat out quite a bit. And we if I can use simple dining credits, let me tell you what I would love. If there's a card that came out that had dining credits at like chain restaurants, things like, Texas Roadhouse or Outback or even Applebee's, Olive Garden, and hardly any of them do. But if there's a card that came out like that, man, I would jump on that in a heartbeat because it'd be so easy to use. And I mean, I would be excited about that. So simple dining credits would definitely move the needle for me. And the last one would be an easy companion pass. If there's a card that had you spend $10,000 and you just get a very wide open companion pass, man, I'd do that in a second. But most of them just simply aren't that way. Or the ones that do have fairly easy companion passes, their airline, like Alaska, doesn't fly to any of the airports that are close to where I live. So I can't really consider that as a perk. Now, those are my list of things on the don't care about and the would really move the needle different lists. And I hope that those of you who are like me, who are deep in this game, have lots of cards. I'd like to hear down below, what are some of the things that don't matter to you and some of the things that do? Because, I mean, there are probably other things that I've missed, and I'd be curious to know. Now, if you would, please consider my channel membership. It's just $2.99 a month to be an RM Insider. I do special videos at least once a week for my channel members. And also I have early release videos, a Discord channel, all of that. And then I have the $19.99 higher tier called Spreadsheet Warriors. You get everything with the lower tier. And also you get direct access through Zoom calls at least once or twice a month with me, where we can discuss and strategize, talk about everything points and miles face to face over Zoom. So consider both of those. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you here next time.